This video will show you how to replace the front bumper cover on a Cadillac CTS. This will be mounted across the front of your vehicle. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we have to do is make our way safely under the front of the vehicle. As we make our way under the front of the vehicle, you may find that you have a plastic skid shield making its way across the bottom. Ours doesn't have one, so we're just going to move on. Now, as we make our way under the front corner of the lower portion of the bumper cover, we're going to start dislodging our plastic shield. Now, this shield is actually part of the inside fender liner. It goes up inside of each side wheel well. We're starting down along the bottom. In this area, we have a 7mm headed mounting bolt. After dislodging that, we're going to continue on making our way across. Now I have a push clip here. I'll remove that. As far as this push clip, start removing the center to unlock it. After that, you can remove the entire outer portion as well. So for this, I'm going to be using a trim tool, but you could also use a flat blade screwdriver. Just make your way in between the outer portion and the inner portion. Gently start pulling it out of place. A thorough inspection of your push clip, replace it as necessary. This is looking good. I'm going to pull this down and out of the way. Let's have a look up inside this area. So now as we come up inside this area, we're looking along the back side of our fog lamp assembly. You do not need to disconnect or remove the bulbs unless of course you intend on servicing those. We're looking for this wiring harness with the large electrical connector. We can just dislodge this electrical connector and that'll unhook the wiring harnesses leading to the back side of the fog lamp. As far as this is concerned, you have a locking tab right here. Just pull that out and then we should be able to disconnect this. Every time you disconnect an electrical connector, give it a quick inspection. If you see any corrosion, it needs to be taken care of. This looks good. This wiring harness leads up towards the body of the vehicle, but now we need to make our way towards our marker lamp, which will be on the outside area of the bumper cover. You're going to have the same exact thing on each side of the vehicle. Just go ahead and give that a twist. Inspect the bulb as necessary. Replace it if you need to. Now that we've disconnected everything on this side of the front corner bumper cover, go over to the other side of the vehicle and repeat this exact same process. After that, let's make our way inside of the fender well. So I have the lower aspect on both sides done, so now as I mentioned, I'm inside of my front wheel wells. We're going to have to separate the fender liner from along the bumper cover. There's going to be 3 plastic push clips making their way up. You know what to do here. Start removing the center to unlock them. Now if your push clip happens to come apart, that's okay. Just go ahead and line it up, start pressing it together, but leave it in the unlocked position for the installation process. Let's continue on. This one up here. Once you have that dislodged, let's have a look up in this upper corner. So as you look up here, you're going to find that you do have a 10mm headed mounting bolt. As we make our way across this metal bracket, which is going to stay attached to our front bumper cover, you're going to find that we have a 10mm mounting nut here, and then we have another one further forward. Let's remove all pieces of hardware. With that hardware out of position, those 2 studs that we had removed the 2 mounting nuts from, those studs actually come down through the fender, in through the bracket that's attached to our front bumper cover. Each one of those studs has small splines on it and they're holding onto that metal bracket. So we're going to have to carefully try to pry and separate this. So with that said, I'll take hold of the front bumper cover. I'm going to pull it down as much as I can here, and now I'm going to be using a semi-thick trim tool. I want to come in between this area. exactly the sound we're looking for. Now, typically those studs will fall out of place. Just collect them, we're going to clean them, and we will be reusing them. For now, I'm going to set them aside. With this broken free, go over to the other side of the vehicle and repeat that exact same process. So I have the other side broken free, now I'm up along the top as I mentioned. Up along the top of the front bumper cover and across the grille, you're going to find that you have 8 push clips that we have to remove. We're starting from one side and I'm going to go all the way over. One thing I would mention is there are going to be push clips along the corner of your grille holding it to the bumper cover. You don't have to remove those. Let's start the removal process. You know what to do. Start removing the center and then lift up the outer portion. Obviously, as I continue on, I'm holding gentle pressure on that front bumper cover so it does not fall off of the vehicle. I don't want it to get damaged. And now from here, it's just the same on the other side of the vehicle. While holding onto that front bumper cover and grille assembly, let's carefully pull it away from the vehicle. Just a quick inspection and let's set this aside. A quick inspection in this area and we can prepare to install our front bumper cover. Now when we get this in place, we're starting along the top. We're going to install all 8 of our push clips and then we'll make our way down along the side and eventually down to the bottom. As we start bringing this in, let's just be careful for our paint and our headlamp assemblies. We don't want to cause any damage here. When you install the push clips, install the outer portion first. Lock them down with the center. Let's make sure this is pressed down into the proper positioning. Now into the front wheel wells. So I'm along where the bumper cover is supposed to meet the fender. In this area, as you remember during the removal process, we had 2 studs, and each one of the studs has a threaded portion and a splined portion. The splined portion is up close to where the head is here. Now before we start bringing this into the bumper cover, let's have a quick look at our fender. Along the fender, you can see where each of those 2 studs would be. The stud will have to go up through the large port, or the larger diameter port. Once you have both of them through, as we lift up the bumper cover, we're going to press the entire bumper cover rearward, locking them into the smaller slotted area, and then we can tighten that hardware. So with that said, I'm going to be taking my first stud, I'm going to slide it down through my bumper and through that metal bracket. Get it lined up. Now on the lower side, I'm going to start on my mounting nut. Make sure you leave it loose. You will have to lift it up to bring it up inside the ports and then eventually rearward. Let's do the same for the other stud. Okay, let's lift up this bumper cover. We'll bring it up into position, and as I mentioned, slide it rearward. Okay, so I've got both studs through those ports. Slide this rearward. Once you have it slid rearward, before tightening those 2 mounting nuts and the studs, let's install that 1 mounting bolt in the corner here. That'll prevent the bumper cover from sliding out of place as we continue on. There's our bolt. Now, when you go to tighten each of these two mounting nuts, you might find that the stud spins. That's because the splines haven't been pressed into the metal bracket yet. So I'm just going to be using my trim tool as a prying device. You can use a flat blade screwdriver or pretty much anything to your liking. Let's apply pressure here, and now we can start snugging that nut. Once it feels as though the splines are holding, we'll remove the tool. All three pieces of hardware in this area are secured in place. This looks good. Now, while we're still inside of this area, we can go ahead and reconnect our electrical connector and secure our marker bulb along the side of the bumper. We'll start with the electrical connector first. Line it up, press it in, listen for a click from that, make sure it's secure. There's that. And that's good. We'll make our way up for where that bulb goes in. We'll twist it one direction or the other until it feels like it slides in, and then clockwise until it's completely locked in the proper position. This looks good. We'll continue on with the installation of our fender liner next. Now, as far as reinstalling the front bumper cover, we're going all the way down to the bottom. The lower portion of this fender liner is going to go up along the top ridge of the bumper cover here. We'll just flex it into position. Now we can slide this into place. We're going to start up along the top. While I'm looking in this area, you can see that there's a small ridge making its way down along the fender liner. That gets tucked behind the bumper cover. And of course, we'll match up our push pin ports and then install our push pins. This looks good. Go over to the other side of the vehicle, repeat this exact same process. Once we've completed the other side of the vehicle, we'll make our way onto the front. So the other side's done. Now we're under the front bumper cover. We're along the corner. Now we do have one area for a push clip, and then we also have one area for a mounting bolt. This mounting bolt will go through our bumper cover and up into our fog lamp assembly. We'll start with the push clip. Slide it through, lock it down. We're moving on to the mounting bolt area. Start it in, snug it up. Now that I have this corner done, I'm going over to the other side of the vehicle and repeat this exact same process. And of course, if you had that lower splash shield, install that prior to making your way back out from under the vehicle. Okay, friend, we finished the installation. Now the next thing you want to do is just double check to make sure everything's secure. You're going to take the vehicle for a road test and listen for any odd noises from this area. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.